We call to order the regularly scheduled meeting of the Fire Merit Commission. However, because we only have 2 people here, not a quorum, we need 3, we cannot conduct formal business. Not that we had a lot on our agenda, but one of the things was a report on the hiring process, which is probably why you firefighters are here. But we will be able to swear in our new commissioner, Lisa Brown. Lisa is a representative of the fire department and is also a Democrat, which is a requirement or bylaws. Excuse me, I have a call from, hi, Joe. Yes. Okay, are we talking 5 minutes? Okay, then I'll stall. We just started a non-meeting, so, okay, all right, bye. Well, when Joe Kelly arrives in 5 to 10 minutes, we will restart the meeting. So what do we want to do?
We're going to pause it.
That sounds
I
good.
can't pause it, but we are still live, and we're just postponing the meeting until Joe Kelly arrives.
Yes. So, anyone want to tell jokes or something that would go out into the community on our live stream? So, we do have later this month the in-person interviews, oral interviews with prospective firefighters. The group that we are looking at did have their written test recently, and we've received a report for those 26 people. But we will only be interviewing 24 of them. And that will happen on Saturday, June 28th. And the interviews will, the commissioners, panelists will be there at 8 a.m. for training, and the interviews will continue all day until 4:30. So, anybody have anything to share? Mike? Lisa?
I have a question, but I don't know if I should ask it during the official meeting
Okay.
with regard to the
Okay.
interview process, so
Okay.
I'll have to wait. What time did you say it was starting that day?
8 a.m.
8.
If it's a generic question, you can ask it now, and if it's something we need to address as a group, we can.
Okay, just basically because I haven't been through the process, and it's going to be Joe, myself, and
Brian.
Brian.
And then two
just-
firefighters.
Okay. And who-
Josh, who are the fire department reps that are going to be part of the oral interview?
Preston and I haven't talked about that, but I know Preston's going to be one of them,
Okay.
so.
Just going through that and just scoring and all of that? I mean,
Yes, it starts with the training, and
Okay,
the
okay, prior to, okay.
representative from TPS goes through and explains the process. You do sample questions and score. One thing they tell you is that the scores within the 5 panelists, they like them to be within a 2-point
Yes.
range. But if they're not, that's okay. And then there's discussion. You might all want to know this. And then, so among the 5 panelists after the interview, we have 9 criteria that you rate them on a scale of 1 to 9 or 0 to 9. And then that scoring system, the 5 panelists compare their scores to each other, discuss the strengths and weaknesses of the candidates' answers, and then we record them on a Scantron sheet. So,
Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you.
anybody out there want to know more about the process? So, you probably don't know or don't care, but we have time to kill. So in our rule book, under governance, you might be interested in knowing that the Franklin Fire Merit Commission was established by the city council, and the first meeting was March 10th, 1993. So the process that's behind this allows people to join the fire department without there being a personal connection. So you don't have to be the brother of, or the niece of, or the cousin of one of the fire department members to get hired. It's based on this two-part system, the oral interviews, which we were just discussing, and then the written test that goes along with that. We, as a commission, require some additional information rather than just the written test. So for our purposes for this town, we want firefighters to come in with a firefighter 1 and 2 course completion, rather than the city sending the firefighter to school and paying for it. And then if the applicant has additional background, such as being a paramedic, having a college degree, those are all things that can give you automatic improvement in your testing process. And then occasionally, we'll get people that might come in from another department, and they may have already something like an arson investigator's certification, or perhaps a trench rescue tech. So in our rule book, we have 2 pages of individual certifications. Those primarily come in when we are doing the promotion for the lieutenant and captain process, because those people have been on the force for 5 or more years and have had opportunity to take additional training in things like basic auto extrication, ice surface rescue, confined space ops, all things that are important that somebody on the fire department has that background and training in. And then the other part of the process, once we get the list of all the applicants who have gone through the oral and written interview, then we get a list of them, and it is in rank order by percentage of how well they've done. And our rules state that people will be contacted in that order and offered a job based on their scores for both the written and oral exam. So even if you are the son of the chief, if you score down at the bottom, you don't get first dibs on the open job. You have to, we go through it in a very systematic process. And you're smiling. Do you have a question? No? Okay. Anybody else have a question about that process?
Anything more you can add to the ballots necessarily over the mayor board? I've got a couple of new people here, so they're kind of still learning the ins and outs of what the mayor board actually
Okay.
does.
So this commission, we meet once a month. It's a public meeting that has to be notified, like in the newspaper and/or through city website and that sort of thing. Come on in. At that time, we,
Very good impression.
That's all. You're all right.
Sorry, y'all.
it's okay. As my mother always said, better late than never. And our role is basically twofold. We kind of oversee the hiring process that I was just describing with the new candidates to the fire department, but we also oversee promotion to lieutenant and captain positions. And the other part is we oversee disciplinary action. So we have a process that if someone who is facing disciplinary action from the chief has the possibility they can bring that to us in a public hearing to determine what might be appropriate disciplinary action, if it's a suspension, temporary suspension, or demotion, or even possibility of being
Terminate.
extricated from the force. That's not a certification, by the way. But that's what our process is. A lot of our meetings are rather short because we just have this normal, ordinary business, but sometimes when we get into the interview process and such, we have longer meetings. We may have executive session meetings where we choose the questions that we're going to use for the oral interview, and we go into executive session if we're reviewing any kind of personnel disciplinary issue as well. Does that take care of it? Okay, all right, all right.
I would say, if you don't mind, taking roll call first and then changing the order on the
Yes,
agenda to
yes.
the swearing in number 2.
That's what I thought too. Okay, so with that prelude, I officially call the meeting to order, regularly scheduled meeting of the Franklin Fire Merit Commission. We'll start with roll call. On my left is our incoming member, Lisa Brown, so she has not been sworn in yet and consequently can't do anything until we get to that. Kathy Stoles.
Joe Kelly.
And then also Michael Kyle, our attorney, as well as Fire Chief Josh Snyder and members of the fire department.
I would like to publicly apologize again for my tardiness.
It's okay.
Good
We
Lord.
forgive you, especially when we're in need of a quorum.
So maybe on a Monday.
So in our published agenda, our first item was going to be approval of minutes and then go into old business. Instead, we're going to switch it up and put new business first so that we can swear in Lisa Brown and she can then participate in the rest of the meeting as a voting member. So, Mike? are you-
I'm sorry, and I'd also like to introduce Jackie Hauser, the notary for the,
okay.
all right, Lisa, do you mind standing?
And thanks for coming, Jackie.
Would you please raise your right hand? Please repeat after me. I, Lisa Brown,
I, Lisa Brown,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana,
and the Constitution of the State of Indiana.
and that I will faithfully, impartially, and honestly
I will faithfully, impartially, and honestly
discharge the duties of my office as Franklin Fire Merit Commission member,
discharge the duties of my office as Franklin Fire Merit Commission member,
according to the law
according to the law
and to the best of my ability,
and to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I just need your autograph.
Thank you.
So I am very pleased that Lisa's finally on board because she's agreed to be one of the interviewers at the oral exams in a couple of weeks, which gives us a quorum for that event, too.
Kathy, is she a notary?
She's a notary. Okay, so you'll have to sign both sets of minutes.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Go.
Thanks, Jackie.
How are you?
Okay, it's official. Welcome aboard, Lisa.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, glad to be here.
And our next item on the agenda is approval of minutes. So for us, we have the minutes of our regularly scheduled meeting on May 12th, which was then followed by the executive session meeting. And that was an executive session so that we could discuss questions for the oral interview part of the to accompany the written exam. So, Lisa, since you were not a member, you cannot vote on these minutes, but Joe, you were here, and so,
I make a motion that both sets of minutes be approved as written.
okay. Would you also like to second that?
Will second that.
And all those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Aye, okay. And you may be thinking this is silly to be so structured with just a few people, but that's the way organizations work.
Yeah.
Sir?
Okay, then, under old business, we have a report on the hiring process. Mike, do you want to
I
start?
can, or
do you want me to?
Chief, you can take the lead if you'd like to through here. We have interviews. I think as you said informally, we've done the testing. At this point, we're going to interview 24 people starting on June 28th. Chief has, I believe, sent out emails at this point to all. I
Yes.
believe.
Emails have all been sent out. We have not sent out the actual letters in the mail. I'll send those out tomorrow. I wanted to wait till after the meeting.
We wanted to, but we did want to give people as much notice as possible, because this is, I mean, it's a fairly short time frame. So.
And right now, we've got 11 people that have confirmed that they got the email, so that's why we're also mailing them
Okay. I got a phone call today from one of the applicants wanting to know his score, so I did not respond until,
I have not had any calls yet for their scores, so
Okay.
I have the email that you got, Kathy, that has the 2 people, and Mike and I are going to get together tomorrow I'll have a letter drafted up that states that they did not move, they will not be moving on because they did not test high enough.
okay. So we had previously determined that for an applicant to move from the written exam to the oral exam, the applicant had to have a score of 70% or higher on the written exam, and 2 of the candidates scored lower than that, so they will not be moving on. But we still have 24 people that will be interviewing on the 28th. And then, as I was mentioning earlier, we take the combined scores of the written exam and the oral exam, put those together, and that determines the order of the applicants' hiring. Okay, anything else on the hiring process?
Other than Joe, Lisa, and Brian will be the commission members.
No, not Joe, Ralph.
Ralph, I'm sorry. Your
So
penalty
the
for being late.
commissioners who'll be doing that oral interviewing are Ralph Spiker, who's not here, Brian Alvey, who's not here, but Lisa Brown, who is here. So she's going to get her feet wet in a big way, so, but better get your feet wet than to go up in flames, right? So,
Absolutely.
okay, that covers the hiring process then? The other thing on our agenda is other. Do we have any other under other?
Yes.
Yes, go ahead.
Luke, you have to leave the room.
Everybody?
No, just Luke.
Oh,
Just go on outside.
Where did we determine?
Luke completed his first year on June 3rd. So I moved to bring him on unless there's somebody in this crowd that says no.
It's thumbs up or thumbs down.
Yeah, so I just wanted to put him on the spot, so,
Aw, he's like, what did I do?
yeah. So I moved to bring Luke Vanderveen, completing his 1 year of probationary year,
the regular firefighter?
up to merit firefighter.
Okay, we need a motion for that.
Okay, so that's the other thing, that after a year's probation period, then the firefighter, if that's been successfully completed, the firefighter then comes before us, and then we determine that they become a full-fledged firefighter for Franklin Fire Department. There's a lot of Fs in that, so. All right.
So you telling
So
tonight?
we
I
need to
mean-
make a motion on that, I believe.
No, we can. I don't know that we have to, but
I think we have in the past.
We have in the past.
Yeah,
Go ahead then.
so.
All right, here's your big chance.
Okay, I'll make a motion to bring Luke
Vanderveen.
Vanderveen on as a merit firefighter.
Second?
Okay, all those in favor signify with aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed?
Plain.
Thank you,
Okay.
Lisa. Do you want to bring him in here and are you gonna?
Perfect. Just make
Give
him
him a
sit.
look. Where,
Are you going to
where's the oral?
have him come up here? What are you gonna do?
I just let him know that he's been because I told him I had till tonight to
We
fire
can
him.
mess with him a little bit.
Do some for preparedness, but.
I told you I had till tonight at 7 PM to fire you, so you made it.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
so it's official, you're a merit firefighter. And there again, just that terminology of merit means that you cannot be kicked off the force without going through the process of disciplinary action, all of that. There are two positions on the force that are non-merit, and that is the chief and deputy chief. Those are political appointments. So, anything else to consider for tonight's meeting?
No, but this will be the start of many of these year completions because I've got one more this month. Then in August meeting, I'll have two, and we'll have quite a few of these because this is when we were really hiring people
Right.
and left last year.
Right, right.
Great.
Okay. So we hope that you are all happy working for the city of Franklin and that you will speak highly of the fire department and try to recruit more people for us in the future. So,
We appreciate what you do. I don't ever want you to think that we don't. We know it is a huge sacrifice. It's giving, it's working hard, it's being good community and a good citizen partner. So know that our hearts are with you and just stick with us.
okay. In that case, motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second?
All those in favor of adjourning this meeting signify with an aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Have you hit the ground running?
Hey.
Nobody ever opposes